So once you've finished Santa, we're going to go ahead and start making his accessories. And this first part is going to be the wreath. This is the piece that will be the base of the wreath where the leaves will go atop. So what you need to do is actually just sew one side to the other. I've stuffed it lightly. You're going to have a hard time stuffing it too much because it's so thin. What you want to do is just join the two ends together and just whip stitch around all the way around to connect. Okay. Once your wreath circle is stitched, you want to go ahead and tie off the end. So just pick up any stitch here, just making sure that you get that entire strand of thread and tie a knot to it. Lift up, find the circle or hole underneath that you'll put your needle back through, come out somewhere else on the wreath, and then pull until you see the knot go into the inside of the work. Okay, so here's the circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's really just to hold the leaves on top of. You can cut this end off. And tuck in the end. Okay. And the next part that we're going to do is we're going to start making the leaves. Now you should have 24 leaves. I've gone ahead and I've sewn in, or I've tucked in rather, the end that was sticking out of the point of the leaf. You just want this loose end to be at the base of each leaf. And what you're going to do is you're going to sew them into clusters of 3. So let's get the other ones out of the way here. So the way that you want to sew these is these two will be at about a 45-degree angle from each other. And this third one is going to go behind those two, sticking out at the top like this. Okay? So let's go ahead and stitch those together like so. Okay, I'll go ahead and put this leaf on top of this leaf. And we're just literally sewing them together here, and you're trying to make it so it's not a noticeable stitch by coming in and sewing it from the base of the leaf or the back of the leaf and in through the front of the other leaf. Okay, once you feel like those two are connected pretty well, next you're going to go ahead and grab your third leaf. Again, it's tucking behind those two. And you're going to continue sewing on. So you're not going to need all of these threads to do this. You can continue on with the same thread if you want, but you just want to make sure that you're tucking these leaves together here. All right, so that looks good. So the first cluster is finished. You're going to do that for all of the leaves, okay? So in clusters of 3, and then when we're finished with all of those, then we'll work on actually building up the circle on the outside of the wreath, okay? So I'll meet you back at the end. You should have a total of 8 clusters of 3, okay? Now that you've got your 8 clusters of 3, you're going to want to put them in a ring shape with the 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and the 1 is going to be angled in the direction that you want the circle to go all the way around. So let's go ahead and thread the needle. And let's see, you want the single point to go above the 2 bottom ones on the 1 in front of it. All right, so we'll go ahead and start stitching those together. It's okay if there's your knots on the back side because those are going to be hidden on the ring here. But right now what you're doing is just stitching the clusters together. Just grabbing a piece from the top cluster and a piece from the back of the bottom cluster until you feel like the pieces are secure. And we're going to continue that all the way around until you have your circle, and then we'll come back when we're ready to stitch it down to the ring. Right, so once we've gotten the leaves all stitched together, we need to stitch them to that base. All right, so first we're going to go ahead and thread our needle with the green thread, and we're just going to be going in through the brown base, back up through the back side of the leaves in order to fasten the two together. So going in through the brown, backing up through the leaves. Again, keeping those stitches at the back side of the leaves so that the stitches aren't noticeable. And do that all the way around until the green leaves are totally fastened on. And then we get to decorate the wreath. Okay, I'll meet you back at the end of that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks, guys.